So today's a Wednesday. There's a lot of people here. Alright, so I just came from the Vodafone here to top up my package. There's 120 hryvnia for the next month. And it's basically unlimited everything. It's like, technically, I think it's only 8 gigs of data, but everything's unlimited. Like all social media, including Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Basically, everything's unlimited anyway, so I'll never go through 8 gigs. Yeah, super easy. And it was nice that I was on this package already from the airport, even though there was no options. That was kind of the option they gave me, but it was a perfect one, so super happy. Alright, so this might be my last time going to Pozada Hada before the lockdown. Before everything closes, guys. Gotta make the most of it. I'm so excited about doing the soup line. It's the most typical Ukrainian food. It's kind of like being in a cafeteria again. So I got my soup from this girl. And then now we can get some of these potatoes and random things. So I got myself a Kiev kotleta and some potatoes with mushrooms. Let's get some of this stuff. And I'm gonna get. So here we go. All this was 232 hryvnia, which is about $8.32. This is potato dumplings. These fried potatoes with mushrooms, a Kiev cutlet with chicken, a soup, and this is cherries inside. It's so nice that the kids are playing outside, we're having coffee, going for a walk. I mean, it's probably like +2 right now, but you know, it's snowing, so it's pretty cold. And we can't go inside, so here we are. This is the next best thing. I guess we can go inside, but just to order, and then we have to bring the coffees out. It's actually kind of nice. Alright, day 1 lockdown, but gym is completely normal. Happy to see that. The only problem is they closed the swimming pool and the sauna. But it's not the end of the world. At least the gym is open. I mean, a sauna would be nice to help kill the COVID. But, you know, I understand. I'm just happy that there's no like weird rules. Like I was afraid that you'd have to call ahead and like make an appointment or something, but everything's just open as normal, just no pool. Which I guess I can go 3 weeks without using it. Luckily, I have another bani, a private one I can go to at a friend's place, so I'm gonna go there tomorrow. So even though restaurants are closed, these takeaway kebab places are open. And the coffee takeaway is open, so everyone's kind of just hanging out anyways. It's like not that different. If anything, it's kind of sunny, even though it was literally snowing like 5 minutes ago. It's kind of encouraged people to kind of like hang out more, sit around more. It's like, it's pretty alive. I mean, honestly, my life hasn't actually changed that much. Like, I walked around this morning, met up with somebody, I went to the gym, I went to a grocery store to buy something, went to a pharmacy to buy something, I'm here getting some kebabs, and then I'm gonna go home. Like, go to the grocery store. I'm just glad the gym is open. Like, honestly, the grocery stores and gyms are open, and you can walk outside and just like hang out outside. I'm happy. Like, you know, of course I'd rather be able to go to a restaurant, but it's not bad. Like, this is probably the easiest lockdown in the world. Alright guys, what's crazy is I have to put down like a $5,000 deposit for the apartment. It's cash only. So I'm going to the ATM. It's a snowstorm. I have to go like every day for the next like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 days. I don't even know how I'm going to get this much cash. This is a pain in the butt, guys. Welcome to Ukraine. So Andre came to visit me, and look what he brought.
Yeah, some credits for you.
Wow.
Ukrainian.
Thank you very much.
They should be cool.
Is it normal for guys to bring other guys sweets?
After our last a few years ago, it was
Good. So my other friends, how come you never bring me French eclairs when you come to my house? It's a nice Ukrainian tradition. Oh, Kushna. Oh, good. Popping wheelies. The city has so many beautiful cathedrals. The colors, you just never see this in the West. So today's a Wednesday. There's a lot of people here. Alright guys, so we're about to enter an Orthodox church, which is the most famous churches in all of Ukraine and the predominant religion, although the younger generation is far less religious than the older generation. People still go to Easter services, but you don't really see young people going to church very often anymore, besides a few times a year. So when you do go to these, normally it's a bit of an older generation, and as you'll see, first, they're very, very beautiful, and I'm really glad they're around just to preserve the history and the culture. And it is very different than going to a Christian church anywhere in the US or going to a Catholic church. It's first off, you'll see there's no pews and you are standing, and often for hours you'll have women standing in high heels just to listen to the ceremonies, or the sermons. And there was actually a lot of controversy between these Orthodox churches and Ukraine a few years ago because they were associated with the Russian Orthodox Church, which has a lot of power, a lot of political power. But as of 2018, the Ukrainian Orthodox Church has officially separated, so now they are with God, but not with Russia. So now they are completely separate. Wow, that was really beautiful. I mean, it's such a change of pace, because for the last year, I've seen so many different, Buddhist temples. I've seen mosques. I saw Hindu temples, and even the Sri Lankan Catholic Christian temples. And I still don't really understand if it's Catholic or Christian, but these are very different. These are like Christian Orthodox, or I guess they used to be Russian Orthodox, but now they're Ukrainian Orthodox. Honestly, I don't know anything about religion, but I appreciate beauty, I appreciate spirituality, and people will come in peace. And it's really lovely coming to a place like this and seeing people worship, light candles, and the architecture behind it. I mean, they're beautiful places. Right. So here, people are about to get on this bus. So it's 3:30, which is a little bit on a Wednesday, so it's a little bit early for people to get off work. But it is kind of a nice time to see local people who maybe just came into the city for, to do some errands or have lunch with someone or do some shopping. Kiev in general is not a very touristy city, and Ukraine is not a very touristy country. So it does feel very authentic. I would say 99% of the people here, maybe 99.9% of the people here, are just living here and working here. They're Ukrainian. Some of them, a lot of them, have never even left Ukraine. So for me, it's really interesting. While when you go to a place like Bali, literally everyone's a tourist, or they're working in tourism. So they're somehow connected with tourism, almost 100%. And it feels very fake, Yeah, sure, there's really beautiful places there, but it's all staged for Instagram and for tourists. Here, nothing is for tourists, trust me. Nothing in Ukraine was designed for tourists to be comfortable or take photos. Everything here is here because it's Ukraine. Both good and bad. But when you see beauty here, it's not for tourists. When you see these buildings and these things, nothing is designed for us. And I like it. It's not easy ever, but I like it. All right, guys, so that was the first week of lockdown in Kiev, which was fine because the gyms were open and life was pretty normal. But a few days later, like halfway through the first week, Kiev went under red zone, which is confusing because what's the difference between lockdown and going into the red? It's basically the same, except gyms are now closed too, which sucks because that kind of just ruined my day. Like it totally ruined my week. I had this nice routine of going out, going for a walk, going to the gym, getting like a kebab on the way back, going to the grocery store. Now I'm basically working from home because there's not really like a reason for me to go out, you know, besides going to the grocery store or getting some food. The weather is getting a little bit better, so people are hanging out outside. I went out last night with some friends and had some drinks outside, but it sucks, guys. So the difference between red and lockdown was they saw the rates going up. Red was a automatic trigger where if 74% of the ventilators in the hospitals are being occupied, Kiev automatically goes under like stage red, code red lockdown. So hopefully everything is gonna end in the next week or so, or 2 weeks. But I'm gonna make a video about what is still open and what life is like under this red lockdown. But it's very different than what you just saw now.